And welcome on back everyone to part 17 and our finale for our Mother Ostankya campaign. We shall start off today's episode with a battle against Mazdamundi's gigantic force of Saurus. It is pretty much only Saurus, and all of them are gold chevron. Everything in this army has extreme eliteness. We're going to be fighting against the wall here for the most part, as this many Saurus is an issue for just about any army. Thankfully, we do have some magics to weaken Mazdamundi's forces, but we do have a Carnosaur charging on across after us, and the big toad is upon Zlotix, so he's going to be even more dangerous than normal. Start things off with a bit of a screen by our bats, and then we will smash into one flank as aggressively as possible with pretty much all of our units here. Frostworm starting things off, the bears following right behind them. I actually think our light war sleds would be able to smash through a little bit easier than they were. They get bogged down pretty aggressively. Keep that in mind for the future. The light war sleds just struggle quite a bit, actually pulling through enemy lines. Poor Urkalisk is throwing down with a Carnosaur, not a fight he's looking to have. So we're going to want to try to turn and run as quickly as we can, or we risk losing our Regina quite quickly. Saurus are also completely surrounding our Hagwitch. Combination of ice spells and big beasties. We are tearing through these Saurus. Bats have taken quite a few casualties, but it's starting to become a great big blob fight here on the center with our surviving light war sleds pulled out fire where they can. And then I have brought some more others in to kind of smash in and pull back out when and where they are able to. The charge bonus in. Still quite a few Saurus left here on the field. Outnumbered 3-1, but what we are fielding is quite scarier. Roxagor doing what they can to hold the line, but they are fighting against pretty aggressive bonus versus large and armor piercing that those bears have. Hagwitch has been completely unable to pull out for the majority of the battle here, especially since the Bastillodon has come on in and to be a big old nuisance. Saurus have formed up a wall on one side where some of our things in the woods are now peeling out. I actually thought they were changed where they were going to disintegrate instead of fleeing for the hills, but I'm not going to complain here. Frostworm has also taken pretty serious damage as these sleds smash in. Eliminating quite a few Saurus on their charge. The banishment down from Mazdamundi is probably going to do more damage to his own Saurus than our own as they charge headlong into the light. Every single shot of those rifles. Pretty solid chip damage on Mazdamundi. His leadership starts to dwindle on down. Not a moment too soon. We have lost a lot of health in our units. This is one of the more challenging fights we've had, and it's nothing but Saurus. And the sled's pulling out for yet another aggressive charge back in to reset that bonus. We get stopped by the Revivification Crystal. That's just fine. Mazdamundi is an incredible duelist, at least against what he's fighting here. Until he gets surrounded by bears and torn off the back of his Triceratops. Our own big beastie is starting to waver now, as it's been pretty much in the thick of things the entire time, throwing down with Saurus and other large creatures. Crystal getting a few more jabs in with the javelins, but the leadership is starting to waver across the field here, and white flag shall soon fly for Mazdamundi. We cycle our light sleds in for yet another charge, but it's unneeded. Mazdamundi breaks, Here, we have a whole bunch of Saurus to round up. Fighting this many Saurus is never a fun time, but we come out on top, and without losing too many of our own, we got down to only one sled with these lads, so they got lucky to survive, and the same thing with our Hag Witch. Got very, very dicey there to the end, but we come out on top, and Mazdamundi now is going to have to go back and heal up.
Your fate lies with your master.
Indeed. It seems the Lizard King can't always do everything. Winning, for instance. Extra leadership aura size for Urkalisk. Get a couple more followers' items. Good grief, a lot of followers' items. And then, are we able to move on the fallen gates from here? Man, I bet we could, but then we would get jumped by Fassel and Radarok. So let's go ahead and turn back around and heal up in Silverator.
Leader of Kislev's warriors.
I wouldn't mind trying to go for an ambush here, but I don't think we'll be able to pull these guys in. Plus, Sildra is a little bit wounded, so we're going to want to let them replenish a bit before we go for that.
Ready.
Skill points you need.
Of Kislev.
And the people is not good for what we have here. Let's just make sure our skills are all maxed out. We don't have any gold chevrons yet, but we are closing in, so we'll grab Ursun's favorite here. In more armor, 5 more melee defense, and 15% more spell resistance. And then I'm going to grab Battle Engineers as well. 20% more ammo, 10% less reload time, and then 15% more missile resistance for all of those War Sleds and Little Groms. And then lastly, we'll just grab Stand Your Ground and rush through his blue line to try to reduce their overall upkeep.
Champion of the Motherland.
Koshka of the Ice, I'm definitely going to give her the Bound Upheaval of the Earth spell, which will also help with our corruption. And then we will additionally grab the upgraded Vengeance Spirits. Fantastic against the Slawn. And then Hannah, we will give Evasion. We're going to give in some of these more elite spells. That'll do. That's it all. Alright, with 29,000 gold left over, let's swing on to our outlying settlements here, like Dieterschaffen.
Mother Ostankya.
Ostlin, we can go ahead and rebuild the port in Norden, no problem. Nitsa as well. And truthfully, we could upgrade that no problem. How long till we get Wolfenburg up to tier 3? And 9 more turns. Good grief. I think we'll go ahead and just take the initial upgrade of the Stanetsa then. So that should work. Oh, the Zarina is rolling around on her brand new war sled. We ourselves haven't got to try out, but it looks great, doesn't it? A Cadillac sled here. Extra luxury. Workbad currently has no threats nearby, so I think we can absolutely go for the upgrade of the Vintner here. The Gospoda. And then I think just to keep things in order, we'll grab the Breastworks as well. That way we can just allow the Empire to fight them off, and then if Marcus or any of his buddies come on in, we can just let the defenses hold the line.
Maiden of the Frosts.
Well, Kevin, you could make it back on in to Waldenhof if we so wanted. Claim it from them and sell it over to the Ice Court. Wouldn't be a bad call. I think Vlad can reach us, so we'll just stay where we're at for now. 21,000 gold and nothing to do with it is concerning.
Witch.
You've already stolen some from the Red Fortress. Let's just come on back around where we can actually ping-pong between two of the settlements a little bit easier. So, come up to the Foundry of Bones first.
No one suspects an old lady.
Indeed. This version of Cathay is actually not doing very well. It looks like they're fine if you look at just the Bastion itself. But it looks like they've even lost Nangal. She's been pressed aggressively down into the south. That is no good. Lucia, we'll go ahead and grab one with Nature or just the Hag's Curse Mark. Let's do one with Nature. If we are in an enemy province, it'll drop their growth by 8. It'll also give her a little bit more line of sight. Which is fantastic.
Hag Witch.
You come up and see what's happening in Shilktraken.
Yes.
Patriarch.
Then for our Patriarch, He's really mostly used for replenishing troops and wounding, so we'll try to go for probably Wolfric's lads.
Kill them!
Get him,
I will
Vlassi.
fast in penance.
Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Kislev district over here in the Aymara swamps, absolutely. You want an Abraham? You go up to tier 3 and become a colony? I don't think so. Will then just jump on into diplomacy and see if there's any more missions to claim. Bylor, Marcus, and Vlad. Since Marcus is going to give us the most, let's go ahead and just accept this one. Same thing with Reichland. We'll go ahead and grab whichever one gives us the most points. So that is Berend. Guess we can't accept that mission, or we're allowed to grab 2, so we'll grab hunting down. Inger's going to come on back in. This is likely where we're going to see Throg re-emerging, so we'll just keep an eye on this army. That will do. Hop through the other outposts we've got left here. I wouldn't mind grabbing the colony here in Reichland. Kislev's empire grows, even in other empires. Let's get one through there, because they still want us to build one up in Nordland, which I don't think is very long for this world. And we'll give it a turn.
Patriarch of Kislev. Age and wisdom do not make me a monster.
What says you, Iwanbo? Hate our glorious cause, restore harmony. Declare war on pestilence and gain 3,500 gold. I'm here for that. Let's go ahead and stamp out the rats, who have done a very good job of claiming most of Lustria, if this is to be believed. Alright, our missions for Nordland have been aborted, likely because they're gone. We'll see in a quick moment. Spirits dance at their summoner's command, harnessing a deadly strength that mortal bodies could only envy. Now we've got the Empowered Recreant Spirit Hex, which we could go for if we didn't want the Malediction of Ruin.
Is purity.
Indeed. So while we could just go ahead and delete Throg's forces here, I think the best call is just going to be to go for Malekith, so Malediction of Ruin. Oh, and have we not met Malekith yet? Well, that's going to be an issue. Vlad isn't necessarily who we want to use the Malediction on, since I guess we're not going to necessarily take this campaign all the way to full completion. We will drop this on Throg, since he's our most immediate threat. And poor Wintertooth is going to see itself ground to nothing. Yoink.
All falls apart. Kislev is come. The malediction. It is all done.
Malediction is all done. Never before has the world seen such a collection of forbidden hexes, each a powerful maelstrom of dark magic in their own right. Combined into the Malediction of Ruin, they have the power to potentially erase all wickedness befouling the land, bringing the forces of corruption to calamity. With the target chosen and the ritual set in motion, all manner of dark forces descend, seeking to interfere out of desperation to avoid their inevitable doom. Hold the forces of evil back. Once the ritual is complete, the land shall be cleansed of their filth forevermore. And our reward shall be a long campaign victory and the ultimate victory fear for our Mother Ostankya Immortal Empires campaign. All Norscan factions will be severely impaired. This is for all of Norska. So I think you would want to apply this on probably a Warriors of Chaos faction. Either them or the Dark Elves. So we could probably drop this on Marathi. That is good to know. So our enemy forces are going to be the Empire, who apparently despise us destroying Norska. I think I took issue with this last time as well. It makes sense in the fact that the witch hunters would be hunting down witches, but beyond that, I don't know. We're going to be fighting 2 Luminarchs and the Hammer of the Witches. Battle of Salem, huh? Alright, well, let's make sure that we've got the full army here with Ostankya. I mean, with this army, looks like it can probably handle itself. Getting rid of these warriors for something a little bit more elite would be nice.
The motherland needs it.
These guys have been here since day one. In fact, we'll just call them the boys. They've been here since day one. Maybe. Slaughtering their way through chaos.
The spirits agree.
Spirits agree. Avla can either be ice or tempest. Let's go tempest since Katarin is ice. For our technology, we will grab a Spirit of Kislev.
We will bring new troubles into the
Let's
world.
grab a couple agony successions with which to bother those Imperial soldiers. Fragmenti as well. Whiff of Madness will be great for dealing with the Cult Dog Lords, and then we'll grab a couple Unburdened Steps with which to buff up the Golden Knight and the Hag Witches. What fun. Alright, Norskins, is showing us is extremely likely to lose. Finally, a challenge. But we can use multiple, Let's go ahead and drop Recreant Spirit then on the upgraded version. Be real mean and drop it in the middle of Norskin lands here. Say that's the most centralized, so Doomkeep it is. Prepare yourself. An army of darkness descends on your enemies. With their settlement under constant assault by bloodthirsty spirits summoned by your Recreant Spirit Hex, it's only a matter of time before they crumble. I can't wait. How about for now, we launch ourselves into the Malediction of Ruin battle. Bring it on. Empire is attacking the Daughters of the Forest. The sheer audacity. We're just going to drop these Agony Successions on their elite warriors up front, and then I think even just the Hammer of Witches. Let's go. Whiff of Madness on their Lord. And nothing else exactly matters, so we can go Gate of Thorns on these two, just to slow them down. We can let our spiders swarm around the back and destroy them. Oh, we're bringing Bella and Fyodora in. I guess we beat the brakes off of them until they're our friends again. Glad you ladies have learned. For our squad, though, we'll grab some of our better Unburdened Steps. Extra melee defense sounds great, so we'll do that for you and the Golden Knight. And then on the other two, to the other two Hag Witches. Alright. Annihilating Norska with the Elderly. It's all come down to this. Final battle for the Malediction of Ruin. What a large quest battle here. And how this one works is you've got two Hag Witches you need to defend for a certain amount of time while they try to actually enact the Malediction of Ruin. We've got our lads set up where we've got the Golden Knight defending the left Hag with all of our forces on an outside of half of them. We've got the Windagoofy and one of our Things of the Woods, two of the Spiders, and the Akshita. Everyone else on the other side, so our big elemental bears, the other bears, and then the Beowulfs moving to defend on the other side. We will send Ostankya and the other Hag Witch of Hags directly down the center to harass what we can here on the Imperials. We're already starting to feel the bite of Agony's sting. The Luminarch trundle on in. They've actually become quite a bit more useful since they have more or less halved their reload reduction time, or their reload time, quite a few updates ago.
Time for fighting! Come men! To arms!
Time for fighting. We're about to close the gap. Good old Spirit Bear is unleashed. But then canceled for some reason. Because good old Vengeance of Spirits is down and ripping this poor Lord apart. 66 to 133 damage a second is a pretty huge amount. Luminarchs are lining up to get a shot on Ostankya, though, so we're going to want to get them moving quite quickly. The reinforcing army here in the back has lots of Huntsmen, and they're more dangerous units like Dryads and Zotes, so we want to move quite quickly to deal with this first group. Those Luminarchs hit Ostankya, which is a bad sight. Cauldron bubbles and rips lads asunder. 4 Hammer of Witches have been frozen by the Golden Knight. And our spiders have charged on out just into a pretty terrible situation as they get jumped by 2 groups of Dryads who are now starting to take the poison effect. It's actually very similar to your normal warp gas. Meanwhile, on the front lines, we've got bears and all of the other beasties ripping apart their heroes. As with most of Ostankya's quests, that is going to be your main target. You can deal with those lords and heroes quickly. You usually can completely avoid any of the reinforcements that are on the way. So it's rarely gets pretty good damage on our spiders. We're going to try to pull them back and try to get them to circle back over towards our main forces here. Same thing with the Golden Knight. Zotes are just a dangerous unit. Deal a lot of damage per swing. Elemental Bear is backhanding this poor Imperial Captain through the wall. And now we're going to start seeing some Skaven approach as a Jade Wizard has now appeared. The secondary part of this quest is defeating the Jade Wizard before he is able to complete whatever ritual he has, and that summons in a whole bunch of forest spirits to fight for their side as well. So now it's just a bunch of Skaven slaves and a few Plague Monks. Let's see if we can deal with them. They do pop in on both sides. Larger army, though, over here where I believe this is Theodora is. So one of the Skaven slaves popped in directly on Akshina and got ripped apart. They didn't live for very long. Windigoofy's going to wade on into the battle, and the Skaven front should be a pretty brutal, fast fight. The things in the woods start ripping in. We'll head on back over to see how the fight with the Jade Wizard's going. There's so many effects active at the moment, it is harming our frame rate. Not looking good on this side, though. Ostankya is surrounded by Zotes, blasted apart by mortars at the same time. Our secondary witch is not doing much helping. Content to stay back and let us do a majority of the heavy lifting. An invisible Luminarch was moving its way towards us. The Jade Wizard, James Ludenhoff, is back here in the back, so now that we've broken free from the Zotes, we can have both Gretel and Ostankya work together to try to deal with him. Just crashes in, sending him off his feet. We really need to get the Zotes away from Ostankya. She'd have to pull away from her battle pretty quickly, or risk being destroyed. Blob fight continues, but we have frozen all units in front there with the Golden Knight. I'm gonna big Elemental Bear, littler bears, and spiders to get that poison effect in. And also with such a large blob, the Heart of Winter can pop our bound spell here. Tearing apart the enemy. Bound spell and rocks. Enemy reinforcements approaching. Still dueling with Zotes, she is. All of the spells we can down over here on the wizard. Made sure he is rampaging and forced to fight. Anki's doing what she can, but she's a chariot, so dealing with a single entity Lord hero is usually pretty difficult. Both Luminarchs are back, and we need to quickly deal with them before they get any shots in, because those are going to be pretty terrifying. Secondary squad of rats rushing our other Hag Witch, but they are not very tough, and the Dryad should rip through them pretty quickly. Ostankya has defeated the Jade Wizard, which means all of the reinforcing armies should now crumble away to nothing. As you can see, they started to bring something in. Here's a tree cannon, looks like Glade Knights. That would have been a nightmare. But because the Jade Wizard has been defeated, I guess they just ragdoll in and do nothing. One final victory for Ostankya. The mortar wagons are going to be the final surviving Imperial forces, and it shouldn't take us long to run them down. Ooh, Yas for Ostankya. Looks like she actually missed. The war cart's doing a pretty good job of keeping her locked in here. We catch... Well, it's a little bit of a desync. I was able to catch both of them with that Vengeance of Spirits on my own playthrough, but that's alright. It is just these poor mortar carriages. We should be rounding them up in due time. Victory Ostankya. And like that, our quest battle is complete. Our enemies being Empire, Wood Elves, and Skaven. What a strange bunch. And they all got clobbered, and we now shall unleash the Malediction of Ruin upon Norska. We will go ahead and take the extra replenishment there, since our hag witches took quite a beating.
You will.
With a ruinous hex unleashed, the Hag Mother has embellished her grim tale. Gnarled roots entwine twisted limbs. Bones crack like twigs as the forest grows, feasting on the bodies of the fallen. The grisly legend of Mother Ostankya lives on. Beware anyone foolish enough to enter the woods.
Right, like that, campaign victory. We unleash the Spirit Wendigos upon the enemies, and it'd be awesome if once you got the campaign victory, that unlocked a special Spirit style unit for Ostankya's forces, but then such is not the case. We will simply, basically what it does is, all of their units are going to suffer high attrition for every turn, even if they are in their own territory. So even the garrisons of the enemies are now going to start attritioning on down. Let's see if we can find one to properly show it off. No, it's not showing it, but yeah, no, the the Malediction of Ruin, that is going to be draining their health every single turn, draining their winds of magic every turn, and also stopping their growth by -100. So if you are targeted, you are able to kind of work against this a little bit, but it is near game ending for the AI. But with Norska crippled, the Ice Court solidified in their power here in Kislev, thanks to us. There's only a few outlying settlements that still fall to Norska, but we shall be reclaiming them in due time, especially with several of these armies moving on out there. Boris has pacified the Ever-Chosen, so there will be no Chaos Invasion, and he's now moving to defeat Kevin as well, so good ol' Yuri the Demon Prince about to get drop-kicked into orbit for slaying Ursun in the first place. With that, thank you all so much for stopping by our Mother Ostankya campaign. It has been a blast to have this as a kind of a one-off cinematic campaign. I enjoyed it so much, we're going to be doing the next one here. Alright, quick cut. We will be playing the Changeling campaign on Legendary difficulty as well, because I quite like the challenge that not being able to slow down or pause the battles provides. It means that everything that you're seeing there in those replays is exactly what happened during the battle, things that I got to deal with in real time. So with that, thank you all once again so much for stopping by our Mother Ostankya campaign. If you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like for Light God and a sub for the sub phone, and I'll see you all real soon with the Changeling.